Morning or afternoon, whatever the case may be for you. My name is Pete, uh, and I'm making a video blog for the first time. Thought it might, help out someone. Maybe. Anyway, I'm 42 years old, uh, reside in the East Coast, and I have MCAS, which is Mast Cell Activation Syndrome. Um, it's associated with mastocytosis. Uh, Diagnosed a few months ago. Been sick forever, as long as I can remember. Uh, it's progressively gotten worse, and I decided to do something about it. Finally, spoke to some doctors and met one in particular who took a took an interest in my case and listened to what I had to say. Took my wife with me to the appointment. She was very insistent that I tell him everything that I was feeling, symptomatically. Um, I really hadn't done that in the past. I wasn't comfortable. I thought maybe the doctor would think I was nuts if I gave him all my symptoms. So I kept a lot of that to myself until this appointment. I explained to him all my symptoms, and yeah, he was surprised, I guess you would say. Or anyway, he took that information. A couple of days later, gives me a call back at home and says to me, "Have you ever heard of mast cells?" I said, "No. What is that?" And he explained to me what they do, what they shouldn't be doing, and after that conversation, I took it upon myself to get some information. I looked it all up, did my research, and found out that all the symptoms that I had been feeling were to a T, uh, you know, uh, documented for people with mast cell activation syndrome. So now I had an answer of what it was that I was feeling for all this time. Been big misdiagnosed a couple times. Ulcerative colitis, uh, gastritis, which actually I do have gastritis. It's a separate. Well, they're in the same house. They just don't sleep in the same bedroom. uh, what else? They thought maybe I had Crohn's. They did a couple tests for that, and never never were able to positively identify that. So even though my symptoms were similar to Crohn's disease, uh, biopsies and whatnot never found the cells that they would usually find in your tissue that suggest that you have Crohn's disease. So I waited a couple years uh, until it got too bad, and my symptoms got worse and worse. And, my wife decided, she said, "You need to see the doctor." That's when I went to this guy, and we got to where we are today. Symptoms are a long list of symptoms: bone pain, muscle pain, uh, spasms in those muscles, gastro cramping, gastrospasming, uh, lung inflammation, Mast cells can cause inflammation through the entire body. Mast cells are in every organ you have in your body, including the brain. They can cause inflammation in these organs. They're in the mast cells reside in the connective tissue of these organs. So, swelling, uh, what else? Vertigo, uh, brain fog, anaphylactic episodes, anaphylaxis, anything from mild to moderate anaphylaxis, anaphylactic shock can happen. All these can be triggered by foods, beverages, environmental issues, non-environmental stress issues. So getting stressed out, lifting stuff, even not to my extent because I'm not that bad, but walking too far or something like that can put you down for a couple days. What else? I get a lot of the breathing problems. My meds are, a lot of them are for my breathing issues. A lot of them because I swell up a lot in my lungs. Here's some of the meds I take. This is for the nose. This is corticosteroid for the lungs. Inhaler. H1, H2 blockers, histamine 1, histamine 2 blockers. Those are loratadine and famotidine. Famotidine is basically Pepsid, technical term for it, and loratadine is Claritin, technical term, doctor's term for Claritin. Since the meds, I've gotten somewhat better. Before the meds, I had days where I thought, this is it. I'm not going to make it through today, I don't think. I couldn't get up out of bed. I couldn't. It was physically strenuous to breathe. Of course, I didn't share this with too many people, except for my wife. There did come a point where I ended up in the ER. I was home alone. Had an episode. My legs were trembling. I couldn't hold my own weight up anymore. My breathing was sporadic. I felt like I was dying. I didn't know then what it was. I just knew I felt it, and I got to the point where it's so bad. I called EMS, and they came, and they did a bunch of tests. And again, they didn't know what they were looking at, so they didn't know what test to run. Really, they just wanted to make sure I was stabilized and sent me home. But I've seen a few videos, some of them informative about mast cell. Some of them were kind of negative. They just they paint it as a death sentence or something. It can cause you to die. There are cases where anaphylaxis can kill you. Anaphylactic shock can kill you. I've never really gotten to that point. Maybe 2 times in my whole life, maybe 3 times in my whole life that I got to the point where I can look back and say, yeah, I was in shock at that point. I can think of 2 times, for sure, that I was to that point. The one I just discussed with you was one, and one before that, which some friends and family actually witnessed. That was an interesting experience. But since the medicines, I've been getting better. I've stabilized a bit. Uh, I wouldn't say I'm great. Today's one of those days where I wake up and my lungs are on fire. My lungs hurt. Um, Breathing is fun, but I just took my meds so to see what happens with that. The brain fog has been acting. I've had a flare for the last. Been in a flare for the last week or so, and with that comes the symptoms I mentioned. The meds help. They're in no way a cure or anything like that. Um, I struggle day by day. I'm getting used to. I'm trying to figure out a rhythm, and there really isn't one because it's so unpredictable that you think you have it and you don't. I could eat a food today and I'm fine, and then 2 days later eat the same food and I get super sick. Um, that's because sometimes the histamines take a while to build up. They can take about 72 hours to show any symptoms. Um, so you gotta be careful. But yeah, I'm Pete. I'm 42. I have 3 children, 2 daughters and a son, and a wife, and a good life, with the exception that I have Mast Cell Activation Syndrome, and still learning my way through it. There are good days and there are bad days. My good days are outweighed by my bad. My bad are till they're still pretty dominant. Uh, they're still in charge. Uh, I don't go out much anymore. Oh yeah, I'm gonna take this around everywhere. EpiPen. Stab your leg. Epinephrine. In case you go into shock. I have to take that with me wherever I go. Right now, they're testing me because my IgE levels are pretty high. Baseline for IgE is 152. IgEs are basically part of your immune system as well. They're created by the body to battle things that you're allergic to. IgEs are specifically made. They're not just there. They're made for specific allergens, and only for that allergen will that IgE respond. But my IgE levels were 474 last time I checked. That's fairly high. So when the IgEs release from the mast cell, they're kind of like a cork for the mast cell. So once that cork is out, everything in the mast cell dumps out, which is histamines and everything like that, and that's when you have a chance of going into shock. It's going to bring you symptoms regardless. If you don't go into shock, you're lucky, but you're still getting a piece of the pie. It's still going to mess you up, just not going to kill you. Yeah. So they're going to put me on something called Xolair, which is basically it's a chemical. It's an injection. First of all, it's an injection, and it adheres to. They found out it's actually made for asthma, but they found out also that it adheres to the IgEs and prevents them from breaking off of the mast cell, which in turn would help you with your symptoms. You would have less chances of going into shock. So it's an injection, like I said, and I'll be taking that once a month. I have to go to the doctor and have them shoot me in my butt or whatever. The cost of that is ridiculous. The doctor tells me that he's trying to get my insurance company to cover it. It's $5,000 per injection. That's a lot of money for a month's supply of medication. And that's a whole other topic I'd like to get into one day. These medical companies, these pharmaceutical companies are really gouging because, mast cell is very rare. There's not many cases at all in mast cell activation. Um, my doctor has been a doctor for 40, well, his leading doctor, or his doctor that he answers to, has been a doctor for 40 years. This guy came into the office when I got diagnosed, and he says that he wanted to meet me because he's only seen 2 cases in 40 years of this. So it was a specimen he wanted to check out for a while. But so yeah, mast cell activation is rare. Um, it is in a rise, though. There are either mast cell or similar cases of diseases that resemble mast cell are coming up, and a lot of people are blaming genetically modified foods. So a lot of people are blaming environmental issues, uh, food in general. The fact that they put let's get to food too. I can't eat out. I can't go to restaurants. The only restaurant I go to is Chipotle. My food cannot have any. My meats can't have any antibiotics. They can't have any hormones. They can't sit for a long period of time. If I cook food, I have to eat it that day or freeze it, because foods naturally build up in histamine, and some of them more than others. Meat, in particularly, if you let it sit in the fridge, it's going to build up in histamines and it's going to get you sick. It's going to make you react. So I have to eat those foods right away. I can't refrigerate and eat later. I can't pack it in a doggy bag and take it with me to work. I can't work. That's another story. But anyway, back to foods. Get that later. Yeah, I have to eat everything fresh. It has to be ready. I don't eat out. My foods are limited right now. I eat kale. I eat white rice occasionally if I can tolerate it. So right now my intestines are swollen, so I can't do rice. I'll get a blockage, and that hurts. So I've been on soup for a while. Some solid foods here and there. I know I know when to pick my battles. I know when to fight and when to fold. Like Kenny Rogers. But I just kind of wing it. Every day's different. I can't schedule anything. I tried. It doesn't work. At least not yet. I'm not there yet. I've only been diagnosed a few months. I don't have it felt out like that yet. Anyway, I wanted to make this video because there are bad points to this disease. But all in all, I'm a happy person. I wig out with chemicals in my blood sometimes. Like they can cause bipolar issues. It's been documented to do that, but I try not to let it get there. I try to control it as much as I can. Other than that, my life is cool. I play with my 18-month-old daughter. I talk to my 19-year-old daughter on the phone, on Skype. My son's in college nearby. Try to spend as much time with him as possible. I talk to him as well. I do things with my kid. I go to the park occasionally if I can pull it off. As long as the weather is not too bad, because heat and cold can cause this as well to flare up. That's what I meant by environmental. It could be pollen. It could be all kinds of stuff. It's ridiculous, the list. Um, well, the idea of Bubble Boy comes up, but I'll never let it get there. Um, yeah, I mean, I can expect to live a full life as long as I watch what I do. I'm not an idiot and try to rebel and go and eat a pizza. That's not going to hurt anybody but myself. So, I have a little more self-control than that, I think. Just got to watch what I eat and what I drink. I can't drink alcohol. That's a negative. That would put me into shock right away. That's one of the things that they asked me, actually, can you tolerate alcohol? And I said the last time I drank alcohol, I thought I was going to die the next day. So I haven't drank it since. Uh, what else? Can't drink alcohol. Caffeine, I cannot drink caffeine. Everything that I drink is caffeinated or water or juice or something like that. Milk, I have to drink lactose-free milk. I have sleep apnea. They just diagnosed me with that 3 days ago. I took a study on the 28th of April and just got my results a couple days ago. Severe sleep apnea, stop breathing 45 times in an hour. So they'll be putting me on a machine for that. It's no big deal. I mean, there's a lot of people with apnea. But I can't help but to notice that the apnea issues didn't start until my mast cell issues started to peak, which was like a year or so ago. It scared me. I'd pop up as if I was scared, and it would happen every time I almost fell asleep. Like once you close your eyes and you start to fall into sleep, boom, my body would pop up, and I feel like I was shocked or scared or something. Come to find out that was me not breathing, my body waking me up to let me know. So yeah, sleep apnea. What else do I have? That's it. I'm a tattoo artist usually. I haven't been able to work in a long time. I haven't had a job in over a year. That job fired me because of attendance issues. I'd get sick, and I didn't know why I was getting sick. I just knew I was sick. And they were pretty tolerable. I got to give it to them. I can't blame them for it. Business is business, but it just got to the point where it was too much. And then my baby got sick, and I had to be out for her, and it just got to be too much. So I get it. I really haven't tried looking for work because I know I can't do it right now. I know that I know myself, and I know that physically I'll get sicker if I try. If I fight this, it's gonna hit me back hard. So I'm filing for disability. See what happens. It's almost done. I've jumped through all our hoops, and I'm just waiting for an answer now. Hopefully that'll help with some bills. And positive, man, positive thinking. I try to keep positive people around me. I stay away from negative people. I had enough negativity out on me years, Um, yeah, I try to look to the future, try to look forward and what I can do to take me there. And, I'm already planning to, like, if I can't tattoo, I can still paint. If I can paint, actually, I can't paint. I can't even use the chemicals for painting. But I'm thinking about getting one of those tablets. I thought maybe that would be similar to, if not the same as painting. I'm gonna get it and see how it goes. Anyway, I'd like to sell my prints. I'd like to sell originals, but in print form. See if I can do that for some income of some form, and just to be able to pump out some creativity, man. I miss it. I miss being creative. I need that in my life. I feel like something's missing when it's not there. I've been an artist for most of my life, so definitely missing it. Anyway, all right, guys, this is it. I'm Pete. I live in the East Coast. I'm 42 years old. I have Mast Cell Activation Syndrome, and yeah, I'm still trucking, buddy. So if you have this, don't listen to the hype. You're gonna have sites tell you, yeah, it's terrible, and it is. It's not a cakewalk. It's not something to be happy about. But it's all about the way you see things, the way you view things. If you view it as a hindrance, it's gonna be. If you view it as a crutch, it's gonna be. Um, there are obstacles in life. We just have to learn how to, you know, get over them and keep moving. If you stop moving, you stop living. Uh, gotta have that positive mentality. You know, onward and upward, man. Onward and upward. Don't let it bring you down. Keep positive people around you. Keep the positive mentality. Take your meds. Eat your low histamine foods. Uh, make sure you're looking for oxalates as well. Make sure you're checking your salicylate levels in your foods. All these things play a part, or can play a part. Uh, research. Read up. There's people out there with this, and those people are pumping out information like you wouldn't believe. Um, you can go to the Mastocytosis Society website. That would help a lot. MTS. You can go to. There's a couple forums on Facebook that have awesome people, awesome information, great topics, great uh, info. I've gotten so much info from these people. If you're watching, thank you. You guys help me out tremendously, and continue to. If I have a problem, it's usually where I go, because a lot of people don't understand. You know, um, they don't get it, so it's easy to talk to someone who actually gets it. Who's gone through it and can relate. So yeah, check out those sites if you get a chance, and check out Facebook as well. Like I said, these people are really good, are really cool, awesome people. You're gonna get a lot of info. It's nice to have somewhere to go. And yeah, I'm Pete. I'm 42. I have Mast Cell Activation Syndrome, and I'm doing pretty damn good.